I think doing a film with Ajith sir at this juncture in my career and at sir's as well is only a blessing. From whatever I've heard of Ajith sir and the films that he does, I think the women in his films are always, they're given a good standing.
Yeah.
He wanted me to look hot in the film, by the way. He was like, you have to look really good. I'm an actor, Jaya. How come you ask me that question if I don't do my job?
I mean, what was going on in your mind? You're acting in front of Ajith sir, the Ajith sir.
Yeah, that is definitely not going on in my mind.
That's not a?
Of course. It was nice to see Ajith sir being very free.
Because you're not recognized easily.
Yeah,
so
right? Hey, எவ்வளோ பண்றேன் எவ்வளோ எக்ஸ்ட்ராவா ஆக்ட் பண்றேன் சரி ஓகே பரவாயில்ல ஆனா அது அவங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கு அப்போ then I'll be thinking oh இதுவும் சொல்லிருக்கலாமே இப்படியும் சொல்லிருக்கலாமே next time.
Hi, welcome to Cinema Express. நான் Jayabhuvaneshwari and இன்னைக்கு I'm with Regina Cassandra. விடாமுயற்சி பத்தி பேச போறோம், but also about your career. There's so much to talk about because உங்களோட career வந்து ரொம்ப இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கா இருக்கு so far, and I'm guessing it will be more interesting going forward as well.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, lots to discuss. First, I wanted to start with like itana naal when I was researching about you and I was reading up, எல்லாருமே கேக்குற ஒரு common question because you've been in the industry for a long while. Yeah, எல்லாருமே காமனா கேக்குற ஒரு கேள்வி வந்து இது வரைக்கும் நீங்க ஒரு ஸ்டார் ஃபிலிம் பண்ணல அப்படிங்கிறது. Finally the star film is happening. So how is it for your first star film to be with Ajith sir?
Blessed, because to be in the industry for so long and to have heard this, that was my journey, right? Being asked this question so many times, and it didn't happen just in Tamil. It has happened in all languages where people are like, you're so talented and all of that. Why aren't you getting the big film offers? And I honestly never had an answer to that, ever. It took me time to make peace with it and grow with that fact, and also still be in this industry. I think doing a film with Ajith sir at this juncture in my career and at sir's as well is only a blessing. That's why I feel like it's a blessing.
Right.
I know I have evolved as an actor. I mean, because of the experience and because of how much I love my job. And I think they say good things take time, great things take time to happen.
Yeah.
And I would put that in that shelf maybe. I'll file it in that cabinet.
I mean, you're someone who's always done things unconventionally for a female lead, I would say, industry.
I'm glad that 20 வருஷத்துக்கு அப்புறம் யாரோ இங்க உட்கார்ந்துட்டு they saying that okay you've done things differently. It feels nice to look back at it. It is some sort of a journey at the end of the day.
Of course. So I think this is also okay. We should normalize this.
It's not okay, Jaya. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. We should more than normalize it.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what, as I was saying, you've been choosing these unconventional roles. So in the padathla, your role, what was that X factor? Idanaala I chose Vidaamuyarchi அப்படினா what would you say?
I think Vidaamuyarchi chose me, thanks to Magal sir and thanks to everyone on board. I think it was that way around because I like every film that I approach, any work that I get, whether it's a show or a film or an ad or whatever, anything that comes to me, if I'm 100% convinced about it, then you can be rest assured that there'll be 100% effort from my side, right? So
So that's about it.
Yeah.
அதே மாதிரி like I don't know how your decision making would have been at that point. உங்களுக்கு அந்த டைம்ல ஒரு ஸ்டார் ஃபிலிம் வருது and as you said like இத்தனை நாள் you've not done a star filmன்றப்போ there's that thing where okay எப்பயாவது இதை எடுத்துடணும்னு ஒரு மைண்ட்ல இருக்கலாம், but at the same time you're someone who doesn't just pick roles for the sake of doing roles. உங்களுக்கு ஒரு இது இருந்தால் தான் you have picked roles all these years. So my question to you is, in case this role didn't have much weightage for your character, அப்படினாலும் நீங்க இந்த படம் எடுத்திருப்பீங்களா because it's a star film?
From whatever I've heard of Ajith sir and the films that he does, I think the women in his films are always, they're given a good standing.
Yeah.
And this role was so different. And the entire setup was so different as well. And I don't know if I would have taken it or not, but the fact that I got this itself, for me, why do I have to think about if it was not as good, would I have done it, right? I've done it and I'm here today, and I don't generally think about what if,
right,
most of the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
ஸோ நீங்கள் நிறையா வாட்டி சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க இந்த பாஸ் தட் நீங்கள் ஒரு கேரக்டர் எடுத்த உடனே யூ ஹாவ் அ விஷுவலைசேஷன் ஆஃப் ஹவு யூ வுட் லுக் ஆஸ் தட் கேரக்டர். நிறைய வாட்டி நீங்கள் நிறைய சஜஷன்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க. லைக் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஏதாவது ஒரு கேரக்டருக்கு ஷார்ட் ஹேர் இருக்கணும்னா யூவ் மென்ஷன் தட் அண்ட் இந்த டைரக்டர்ஸ் டேக் தட். இந்த படத்தில் யூ ஹாவ் அ வெரி ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் காஸ்டியூம் அண்ட் ஹேர் ஸ்டைல். ஐ லவ் யோர் கர்ல்ஸ் பை த வே, இட் லுக்ஸ் ரியலி நைஸ். ஸோ அதில் out of the look, did you visualize anything? Illa everything came from the film?
Muggles already had his, this thing about it. He wanted the hair to have its own character and have like nice volume. He wanted me to look hot in the film, by the way. He was like, you have to look really good, and it would take me an hour and a half almost
to get all those curls, huh?
Yeah, anywhere between 1 hour to an hour and a half.
You don't have, I'm guessing you don't have curly hair by nature,
I don't.
Yeah, so
I have wavy hair, but those curls definitely not. Yeah.
They're like noodle curls. Yeah. They're amazing.
Om sir and I were twinning on set every day.
Right.
But yeah, so of course when he explained the character to me, and it only felt right that this woman had, she's like when you see her itself, you're like, oh, sort of a thing, and I did get that reaction on set so many times because I think the local Azerbaijani crew they'd all seen me without makeup and in my normal straight hair and stuff. And then when I went on set, they thought there was someone else because of my hair.
They were really starstruck, I guess.
Yeah, because they were like, what? So it was interesting, it's nice to see people's reactions like this.
True.
Off camera, behind the camera. So.
And it's interesting how you can see yourself in like different avatars.
I love it.
That's such a nice thing too.
Again, I think I've been blessed to have a face and body that can suit Indian and Western outfits. Like that's honestly, it's none of my work. It's like not my doing, right? But to be an actor and to have a versatile face, for me is a blessing, and I would make the most of it.
Absolutely. So trailer பார்க்கும்போது you saying this very ஒரு gritty dialogue to அஜித் சார், இந்த மாதிரி பொம்பளாவே கன்சிடர் பண்ணக்கூடாது இந்த மாதிரி பீப்புள்லாம், you're saying that dialogue, right? எனக்கு என்னன்னா in another interview just a few months back நீங்க சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க everybody should meet அஜித் சார், he's so charming, he's so sweet அப்படின்னு. அந்த ஒரு பால்வடியும் முகத்தை பார்த்து நீங்க எப்படி அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு dialogue சொன்னீங்க? I want to get the story behind.
I'm an actor, Jaya. How come you ask me that question if I don't do my job? You'll write in this thing, she was not that great in her role in
So of course you were acting. But what was going on in your mind? You're acting in front of Ajith sir, the Ajith sir.
That is definitely not going on in my mind.
That's not
Of course. Why? I'm an actor at the end of the day, and I've been asked to do a job. I'm not acting in front of Mr. Ajith Kumar. I'm acting in front of the character. I'm playing a role, and I love essaying these kind of characters where you have to step out of your normal comfort, not even just comfort zone, but just doing something different. That's what my job. That's what excites me about my job.
Right.
Every day is a new day. It's so different. I don't think any actor really thinks, oh, I'm acting in front of this person. And if you do by any chance, if you're new and you feel like, oh, I can't get the fact that I'm acting in front of this person, then you have to work on yourself, I guess, as an actor. Because
you don't have even a tad bit of nervousness, huh?
No.
Okay.
It's not about nervousness that I'm acting in front of this person. With all due respect, the respect is always there. But once you get into a character and get into that role, it's more like I want to act so the other person can react, and I want to feed off that so I can react, right? But and it depends on the character and the scene. If I'm the one who's driving that scene or making my the actor react, whoever's in the scene, then I need to make sure I'm doing a fulfilling job so then that person reacting can feed off my action.
True.
Right? It's not just dialogue.
அப்போ ரொம்ப மெட்டீரியலிஸ்டிக்கா ஒரு மாதிரி இதுவா மோனோட்டோனஸா ஆயிடும். Yeah.
But having said that, it's the people around the star, and I will say star because they don't do it for every other actor, but it's the people around the star would make it more conscious for a person than the person themselves. And even though I haven't worked with a superstar of sir's liking, that doesn't mean I've not worked and I don't have my experience. So I know when to shut off. And I think it's that confidence in the fact that I could pull off this character that Mughal sir even asked me to do it.
ரைட் ஸோ அசர்பைஜான் இது வரைக்கும் படத்துலேயே நிறையா நம்ம பார்த்ததில்ல அந்த லொக்கேஷன்லாம். ஸோ வாட் இஸ் ஒன், ஐ மீன் ஏன்னா அங்கே வெதர் கண்டிஷன்ஸ் ஆர் வெரி டிஃப்ரெண்ட் அண்ட் திங்ஸ் லைக் தட். வாட் ஆர் சம் மெமரிஸ் யூ ஹோல்ட் டு தட் சிட்டி, குட் ஆர் பேட்?
It's mostly good.
Okay.
Because everything was really nice there. Even like working hard felt nice over there because the weather was so good. And this is the first time I'd worked abroad after in Telugu. In Tamil is the first time, but I've done it in Telugu. But where we've gone and stayed there for a long stretch and actually worked there. And everyone, all of us, we would like chill post shoot, post pack up. We would plan where to go, and these guys were there. Ajith sir, Arav, Nikhil, Trisha were all there for a very long time. So they knew everything over there. I joined them in December year before last, and I would just walk. We would go like somewhere, and I would just walk in, and everyone knows like everyone over there. And it felt like family because the place is really small. And yeah, there are a lot of memories over there, you know, like just walking around, doing things, being free. It was nice to see Ajith sir being very free.
Because you're not recognized easily.
Yeah,
so
right.
That's a good advantage.
And he explained it also. He said, I don't get to do this in India, you know. I don't get to walk around and wait for my car on the road like that. And it's nice to see people just relaxed being themselves, right? And he's the kind of person who likes people around him to be comfortable.
Right.
And if you're a woman, even more so, he'll like, you know, like make sure that everything is fine around. Even though he needs to make sure he's safe, at the same time, he takes that extra effort, and it's really nice to see. And for someone who's being around him for the first time, it doesn't feel fake. You know,
right.
You can tell when someone's trying to be fake or not, and it feels very genuine. And I think that's the best. That's something I would take back home from having worked with him.
Right. So நீங்கள் இது வரைக்கும் நிறைய flawed characters பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க. And I'm guessing இதுலேயே ஒரு flawed character or ஒரு grey shaded character, I don't want to say flawed, grey shaded character பண்ணுறீங்கன்றப்போ what was one nuance you were able to explore with this character விடாமுயற்சியில்?
Just the fact that in Tamil cinema, I haven't really pushed my boundaries to the extent that I've pushed it in this film.
Oh.
In terms of, yeah, so maybe right from the look, you know, like even just having that kind of a look, I don't think people have seen me here in it. Maybe in Conjuring Kanappan avanga and the long black hair la paathirpanga, tattoos oda, you know, whatever. But Telugu cinema la I've pushed my boundaries to a different extent, you know.
Yeah, all mari padathula of course.
Yeah, in terms of my look, in terms of my character, ellame. So இந்த படத்துல நான் ஓரளவுக்கு நான் ட்ரை பண்ணியிருக்கேன், and I was given that space with Mughal sir and the push பண்ணலாம்,
independence
பார்க்கலாம். ஆமா,
to explore.
So yeah,
அதுதான். ஆமா, நீங்கள் ஒரு வாட்டி சொன்னீங்க ஏதோ ஒரு இன்டர்வியூவில் ஐ ரெட் தட் நீங்கள் வந்து லைக் யூ ஹட் ஸ்போக்கன் அபவுட் விமென் இன் சினிமா ஆக்டர்ஸ், ஃபீமேல் ஆக்டர்ஸ், ஹவு அவங்க ஒரு ஸ்டார் படம் பண்ணலை அப்படின்னா the pay scale is different, the recognition is different அப்படின்னு. Do you think, just a very out of on top of my mind kind of a question.
Blushing asking me this question. நீங்க ஏன் சிரிக்கிறீங்க?
No, I wanted to know, இப்போ now that you've done a star film, do you think on the pay scale மாறும், recognition மாறும்? Do you think that is a 100% requirement for a female actor in the industry, even though you've been doing brilliant roles?
Can I tell you after this film releases? Release ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் நான் சொல்றது மாறுச்சா இல்லையான்னு, because ஆமாங்க, and it's not, அது என்னோட தாட் இல்லை. சொல்லியிருக்காங்க எனக்கு, அதனால எனக்கு தெரியும். சொல்லலைன்னா எனக்கு எப்படி தெரியும்? எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ல நீங்கள் இந்த படம் நீங்கள் அந்த உங்கள் மார்க்கெட் வேல்யூ, யூனோ, and heroine's market value depends on, at the end of the day, on the box office that the hero collects.
ஆமாம்.
ஸோ அப்போ obviously ஏதோ ஒன்று அங்கே the math has to math அங்கேல. பட் இந்த படத்துக்கு அப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம்.
Have you ever thought this is not fair அப்படின்ற மாதிரி யோசிச்சிருக்கீங்களா?
அப்போ யோசிச்சிருப்பேன், பட் now it doesn't matter.
பழகிடுச்சு.
இல்லை, it's not பழகிடுச்சு.
Okay.
It's definitely not that. I have made peace with it doesn't mean like பழகிடுச்சு.
It's okay. It's not okay.
It's not okay. இப்படி தான் நடக்குது. சரி, I will be an observer of this thing, or I will be you know, someone who, இது என்னோட ஸ்டோரி இல்லை at the end of the day. நான் இப்படி தான் வந்திருக்கேன், இது என்னோட ஒப்பீனியன் at the end of the day. So I எல்லாமே கேதர் பண்ணதுக்கப்புறம் I've understood that okay, this is what it is. And I've understood and made peace with the fact that this is how it's going to be. Suppose ஏதாவது சேஞ்ச் கொண்டு வரணும்னா இந்த மாதிரி தான் நான் இதை பற்றி பேசலாம், அவ்வளோதான். This is what I can do. எனக்கு ஒரு பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் இருக்குது பேசுறதுக்கு, and I can put my view out there without hurting anybody.
இந்த படத்தில் அண்ட் அஜித் சார் கிட்டேருந்து ஒரு கோர் மெமரி நீங்கள் எடுத்துப்பீங்க அப்படின்னா வாட் இஸ் தட்?
ஸோ ஒரு நாள் ஷூட்டில் sir was playing around with the camera, and I think it was the first few days of when I just got in. I think it was my second day of shoot, nanikra. And he had taken some pictures of everyone, Magal sir, Om sir, me, all of that. And avanga edukranga theriyum because he was walking around, you know. And 2 hours aprom, all of us got prints of this thing framed.
Oh,
I was so sweet.
Yeah.
Like you know, no one's ever done that before. And I know he's a very passionate person. அவங்க எது பண்ணாலும் பேஷனோட தான் பண்ணுவாங்கன்னு தெரியும். But for me it was very new. And when someone does these things, it's very overwhelming also sometimes, right? Because it's nice, but people are, I told you, right? People around you, they make you feel like, oh my God, or marry. I thought that was really sweet. And on the frame, inno en veetla irukku. It's the only thing that I have at home of my face. I don't really frame my pictures or anything. Normally, there's no like pictures in my house, especially of myself. But this is the only picture na veetla abde maatittu abde vechirukanga.
நீங்க அதை எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் you will be reminded of that memory and sir and
of course,
immediately.
Right? Of course. Really and I just got in on set also. So to make people feel like, you know, you're at home, welcome, comfortable, and that you can reach out to him for anything. That was one thing. And then it happened to me my birthday the next day. So avanga vandu kettaanga like you know, what can I get you for your birthday? So I was like, illa sir, that nothing, thank you. That's so sweet of you, but it's okay sir. No Reggie, I am insistent, you have to tell me. I was like, sir, this is a lot. And then I was so hesitant, right? Because you're shy, you're like, you don't want like it's so new for me.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, you have, please tell me. And then I said, shoes, sir. And it's so funny because airport le meet pannapo also, we had a conversation about feet. And we're talking about how, you know, I don't find shoes that well. It happened there. And then post that this conversation happened. He didn't even ask me my foot size and all because he remembered it from that conversation.
Right.
And he and Arav had gone and bought 2 pairs of shoes for me. And
like actually went shopping.
I didn't know he went shopping. And I come back on my birthday, I'd gone out, and I'd come back on my birthday to the room and I see these 2 boxes there and a note from sir.
Oh.
I had no way of, you know, getting in touch with him and thanking him or anything. But I'm always like, I always say a small prayer, like if I find something or whatever. So I said a small prayer and I was very happy. And then I met Arav 2 days later and Arav was like, so how did you like the shoes? And all. I was like, oh, you know, I was like, he's like, yeah, sir and I only went shopping. I was like,
so
no way,
sweet.
no way, don't do this, don't say these things to me like this. Like, it's a lot, right? But over time I realized and I grew to understand this human being that everyone looks up to, and also in a way as an actor or someone in the public eye, I'm in awe of the fact that this person is so consistent with who they are. And I think that is so important today to be consistent.
It's original, it's not fake, you know that atlende.
Yeah, I mean see other okay fine, it's original not fake in a side la vechukonga. The fact that someone is consistently being this person,
there's a lot of effort,
irrespective of, so, and there's also as him being who he is in the place that he is also has so much to keep up to. It's not easy being a superstar or living up to people's expectations. Even if you're someone who doesn't want to live up to people's expectations, it's so difficult to be yourself on the you know edathula, because வெளியிலேருந்து அவ்வளோ வருது, so much noise from the outside. எப்படி அந்த நாய்ஸை
quiet பண்ணிட்டு I'll remain
still
myself.
be yourself,
அது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம்
இல்லை? It takes a lot of determination, and I think he's there. And also it's you know, he's someone who is very open of the fact that he would not have been able to do it if it was not for Shalini ma'am or his family or you know his team or people around him. and he's got such a loyal team with him. Touch wood. Yeah.
Right. So a little about your career. Just a few questions கேட்கணும் அப்படின்னா நீங்கள் நிறைய இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ் ஜகிள் பண்ணுறீங்க இல்லையா, ஹிந்தி, தெலுங்கு, தமிழ். இதில் என்ன ஒரு இன்னெவிட்டபிள் இது என்ன அப்படின்னா, இப்போ நீங்கள் ஒரு தமிழ் படம் பண்ணுறீங்கன்னா யூ டெடிகேட் யோர் டைம் டு தட். அப்போ தெலுங்கு படமோ ஹிந்தி படமோ பண்ண முடியல, ரைட்? ஸோ இந்த கேப்புங்கிறது இட்ஸ் நாட் லைக் யூ வாலண்டரி டேக்கிங் தட் கேப், யூ ஸ்டில் ஒர்க்கிங் பட் ஜஸ்ட் கம்ஸ். ஸோ அப்படிங்கிறப்போ what do you think about அந்த ஆடியன்ஸ்க்கு அந்த ஒரு வருஷம் நான் அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு படம் கொடுக்கலான்றப்போ what do you think about that, like அந்த inevitable gap பற்றி?
See, at the end of the day, it's not in my hands because I have நான் வெறும் ஆக்டிங்ல தான் கான்சன்ட்ரேட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். Maybe if I start a production house, maybe அதை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணலாம், you know. Maybe if I do something else, I could probably change it.
Maybe.
We'll see. Yeah. But as an actor, I only have avlo control over, you know, my work. So, yeah, and I'm okay with that. I understand the repercussions of my actions or repercussions of the decisions that I've made. Yeah.
All right. அதே மாதிரி ஐ திங்க் பிஃபோர் த டேர்ம் பேன் இண்டியன் பிகேம் த ஃபினாமினன் இட் இஸ் டுடே, நீங்கள் வந்து யூ பின் தெலுங்கு, அட்லீஸ்ட் தெலுங்கு தமிழ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தீங்க. அண்ட் ஐ திங்க் ஹிந்தி சினிமா கூட பேன் இண்டியன் முன்னாடியே நீங்கள் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டிங்க. ஸோ சம்மன் வாஸ் ஜஸ்ட் பின் தேர் இன் ஆல் இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ், இந்த பேன் இண்டியன் சினிமாங்கிறத பற்றி what do you think? What is your outlook?
I think this and your previous question come hand in hand because எனக்கு நிறைய லாங்குவேஜஸ் எல்லாம் தெரியாது. பட் தமிழ் தெரியும், ஹிந்தி தெரியும், அண்ட் தெலுங்கும் தெரியும். தெலுங்கு I only learned when I started working in 2012 in Telugu in Tollywood. ஆனால் எனக்கு லாங்குவேஜஸ் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். I love learning new languages, and especially if it means that it can improve my work, this thing. Once the pandemic time la dhaan the whole pan India idu nadandhathu to a bigger level. It was slowly picking up, but pandemic time la dhaan, you know, people wanted to especially actors எனக்கு நிறைய வாய்ப்பு கிடைச்சிச்சு. ஏன்னா Hindi makers wanted to make shows with South Indians also to reach a larger audience, of course. And எனக்கு அப்போ, you know, I had the opportunity of playing someone like Mrinalini Sarabhai, Rocket Boys la, and because I'm a South Indian, you know, and I know that I auditioned for it. I still remember pandemic la, I sat in my house, wore one sari, put poo, did all of that, and you know, try to dress up like the character and audition for it and everything, and it was a interesting experience. And at the end of the day, the South Indian cinema finally, you know, be it Bahubali lerinde illana whatever films, however big the films are, we needed to make those kind of films for the other audiences to take us seriously in terms of a market value. True. In terms of bringing in the money, or in terms of business. And when we finally, and it's not like we haven't done it, it's just that it took its time, it took you know, so many things to fall in place for it to happen, and now it's happened, and I think nothing like it. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. இத்தனை வருஷம் இந்த 20 இயர்ஸில் நான் முன்னே இருந்ததுக்கும் இப்போ இருந்ததுக்கும் 2 things. 1, என்னை பற்றி இது மாறி இருக்குது அப்படிங்கிறது what would you say, and இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில் இது மாறி இருக்குன்னா what would you say? Can be both positive, negative, anything.
நான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன், I've evolved as an actor. I feel like நான் என்னோட தெலுங்கு படம் பார்க்கும்போது, especially all those commercial films, like ஏன் எவ்வளோ பண்ணுறேன், ஏன் எவ்வளோ எக்ஸ்ட்ராவாக ஆக்ட் பண்ணுறேன், சரி ஓகே பரவாயில்ல, ஆனால் அது அவங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கு அப்போ, right? So I see it and I understand it. I know what headspace I was in terms of an actor then, and I know what headspace I'm in terms of an actor இன்னைக்கு. So that has definitely changed how I would approach a role now. But my homework and all still stays the same. I used to intense, even if it was just a commercial film, I always felt like, you know, I wanted to try something new. Like so many times, I saw so many Telugu films where the actresses wore wigs, and you can tell it looks like a wig, and it's so bad, and you're like, oh, why would you do that to yourself? So I was like, in one of my Telugu films, even though it's a commercial, I like challenged myself and said, I'm going to wear a wig and no one's going to know it's a wig. So things like this that I would just do, you know, like just random things. I'm very random that way. and in terms of cinema, right?
Yeah,
Adhu
industry,
industry wise. 2012 is when SMS. So Shiva Manasla Shakti, Shiva Manasla Shruti pani
Teluguல you got introduced.
Yeah, so அப்போ இது இன்டர்வியூஸ் பண்ணும்போது தி ஜேர்னலிஸ்ட் அப்போ இருக்கிற ஜேர்னலிஸ்ட் அவங்க கொஞ்சம் பிராஷாக இருந்தாங்க. And I like it. It molded me.
It was a learning experience for you.
I loved it, right? I took it up as a challenge. I'm also a very witty, and I can't call myself witty. I leave it for other people to do it. But I always had the gift of the gab when it came to things like this. So it was fun. And நான் நிறைய வாட்டி அப்படியே பாயிண்ட் பிளாங்காக சொல்லியிருப்பேன், பட் in a funny way. So I remember journalists asking me, so what do you think about the shelf life of a heroine? I just entered the industry and you're already asking me about a shelf life. And unfortunately for them, நான் அவ்வளோ இன்டர்வியூஸ் எல்லாம் பார்க்க மாட்டேன். லைக் I don't see, அவங்க என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க இந்த இன்டர்வியூவில், அவங்க என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, இவங்க என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. Today I might, because certain friends will be like, இது பார்க்கணும் அது பார்க்கணும்னு. பட் தானாகவே I won't be like, இவங்க என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, அவங்க இன்டர்வியூ பார்க்கலாம். So I never knew what people said. So I was very fresh to the industry and I have a very fresh take to things. So நான் அப்படியே பாயிண்ட் பிளாங்க நான் ஒரு ஷெல்ஃபில் இருக்க பால் பேக்கெட் இல்லையே ஷெல்ஃப் லைஃப்காக கேட்குறதுக்கு. ஸோ ஏன் அது கேட்குறீங்க எனக்கு தெரியாது. யாரோட ஷெல்ஃப் லைஃப் இவ்வளோ இருந்துச்சு, நீங்கள் சொல்லுங்கள் ஷெல்ஃப் லைஃப் பற்றின்னு. So it would always be a retort. And that whole thing of hero and having a shelf life, you would never ask an actor this. No male actor has been asked about shelf life. So I feel that in the industry has
changed
so much.
I'm so glad finally இது எங்களுக்கு ஒரு பெருமையா நான் எடுத்துக்கிறேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். At least we don't ask these kind of questions anymore.
Yeah, so yeah, that I am very happy that things like that have changed. And I always, somewhere at the back of my mind, I knew it's not going to last. Like how could you ever think that an actress can only last for so long, right?
And why ask that question even if you do think that way? That's just why would you? Right. And நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி even I found your டக்குன்னு ரிட்டார்ட் பண்றதை நிறைய இடத்துல பார்த்துருக்கேன். பட் அதை பற்றி பேசும்போது நீங்கள் ரொம்ப வெளிப்படையாக பேசுறீங்கன்னு எனக்கு அது ரிக்ரெட் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்களா?
Not regret. Sometimes I wish I said it better.
அந்த ஷவர் தாட்ஸ் அதுக்கப்புறமா
but it would still be the same thing. அது அப்படியே இருக்கும். and maybe I could have packaged it better,
polished it.
Then I'll be thinking, இதுவும் சொல்லியிருக்கலாமே, இப்படியும் சொல்லியிருக்கலாமே next time.
Nice. All right, so just I don't want to take much of your time. Upcoming films, what else is coming after Vidaamuyarchi?
There's this film called Jat with Sunny Deol. Sunny Deol, Randeep Hooda, Siamese hair.
Nice.
அவங்க இருக்காங்க அதில். And there's another Hindi film called Section 108 with Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
I think அது ரிலீஸ்க்கு ரொம்ப நாளா been waiting.
Yeah, it's all ready. And there's another Hindi film with one of the superstars from Hindi, but I can't even talk about it right now.
Understandably.
Asked not to. But it should release in March.
Oh, great. Okay.
So we're not too far away.
Yeah.
I'll be probably doing promotions for that also soon.
Nice. What about South cinema? இப்போதைக்கு விடாமுயற்சி.
Yeah, இப்போதைக்கு விடாமுயற்சி.
Great. And 20 years இருந்துட்டு இந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில் still, and you've done some of the most unconventional offbeat kind of roles. ஆனால் இப்போவும் எனக்கு ஒரு ட்ரீம் ரோல் இருக்குது, இது எனக்கு பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா என்னவா இருக்கும் in terms of character?
I've always wanted to do someone with psychological.
உங்க படிப்புனாலயா இது?
இல்ல, no, not really, but just to portray a genuine issue,
okay, அந்த மாதிரி, right?
And have people be aware of it. I think cinema that brings about awareness is nice because it's a really good medium to bring about awareness. There was one, like for example, there was one film called Ek Ladki Ko Dekha To Aisa Laga that
your Hindi debut, right?
Yeah, that I did with Sonam Kapoor and Rajkumar Rao. The film did okay. Not too many people really liked the pace of the film. But what it really did was it connected to an audience that
have never been
wouldn't generally talk about gender fluidity or talk about these issues, like wouldn't even know what LGBTQIA is. It reached an audience that was older, an older generation. It reached an audience that was actually coming out to their parents So it reached two different levels of
Extreme
audience,
audiences.
and I thought that was something that's the kind of cinema I would love to also be
a part of.
you know. Yeah, so
அதுதான் உங்க ட்ரீமா இருக்கும்.
so yeah, cinema that brings about an awareness in a nice way. Like for example, also it's taken like many years for cinema to have gay people not caricaturish
ஆமா.
in a film. If you're gay, then they'll make you wear like the most weird clothes, and they'll make you put your
Jokes.
hand like this. Every guy who's gay and he's in a film, his hand will be like this.
That's actually
It's
homophobic in a way.
Yeah, but they don't realize it, right? They think they're representing, but you don't know how to represent.
Correct.
Right? And then that's where the problem happens.
Right.
So, yeah.
There, right. So yeah, thank you very much for this conversation. I'm really excited for Vidaamuyarchi Feb 6 வருது. I'm excited to see உங்க அங்க என்ன role, how you've done it, because நீங்க brand new அவதாருக்குள்ள நீங்க போயிருக்கீங்க. I want to see how you're going to be in the film, and of course excited for Ajith sir. But yeah, so all the very best. I hope சீக்கிரமே நீங்க இன்னொரு தமிழ் படமும் பண்ணணும். Of course your lineup of Hindi films are great, no doubt, but I'm excited for your Tamil films as well. All the very best. Thank you for this conversation.
Thank you so much, Jaya.
Thank you.